1 year after a deadly dog attack, new laws are in place to prevent another tragedy.
We're very limited based on state law, and I think this law right now is kind of working, so time will tell.
We're breaking down how enforcement is going, plus potentially harmful chemicals in the drinking water, the local county addressing the concerns, and
the e-bike boom leads to complaints and now citations.
Officers have been stopping kids, educating them, talking to them, calling parents, and it just got to the point where we felt it wasn't as working as well as it should.
We're here in Oviedo talking to police about their recent enforcement efforts.
News 6 at 6 starts now.
We begin tonight with a cold blast targeting Central Florida before the end of the week. Temps in some places could dip into the 30s.
Here's a live look now over Daytona Beach. Not many people out there today, and it's probably going to be the case for the next week or so.
All right, so we want to check in now with meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, who is timing out this next cold front, and it's going to be a doozy.
It is, yeah. This is going to be the biggest one of the season so far. Likely the biggest one to date either, as we're going to get towards the end of the climatologically coldest part of our season anyway. Here is the front. It's back towards Chicago, a little bit of rain with it. That rain arrives on Thursday. Out ahead of it tomorrow, we're going to see the opportunity for some rain as we start to tap into a little bit of Gulf moisture. Now, it's the colder air behind it. You're starting to see it dislodge from about the Hudson Bay area. It's pushing 10 degrees below zero right now in Fort Severn, God's Lake as well. That's on the Canadian side of the Minnesota border. And you see we're hanging out in the warmth, but it's going to take a nice big trip through the Great Lakes and into the Deep South as we move forward over the next 48 hours and then settle back in by the time you wake up on Friday morning. Temperatures right now, can you believe it? I mean, we're back in the low 70s. We're talking about temperatures in the 20s and 30s by the time you wake up on Friday morning. We're going to pinpoint the timeline of the arrival of that, and we're going to go neighborhood by neighborhood and talk about how cold it's going to be on Friday. And that's just not it. There's more cold behind that getting into next work week as well. We'll break it all down at about 6:17.
Thank you, Jonathan. You can stay up to date on your forecast by going to clickorlando.com. Just click on the weather tab for a look at your 10-day and hourly forecasts. We'll also have shelter locations here as well. Well, let's talk about some dangerous chemicals. Leaders say, unfortunately, they're all over the country and they could be turning up in your water.
Yeah, they're called PFAS. They were found again in Brevard County water supply in excessive numbers. They are better known as forever chemicals because they can stay in the environment for thousands of years. Your MIMS community correspondent, James Barbero, shows us how a county commissioner plans to address those concerns tonight. Today marks 1 year since an 8-year-old boy was tragically killed by 2 dogs in the DeLand area. He was riding his bike near his home when the attack happened.
His death prompted tougher laws for dangerous dogs, both locally and across the state. Your Volusia County community correspondent, Molly Reed, is looking into how these new rules are making a difference.
Here is a look at that dangerous dog list Molly just mentioned. You can find a link to this list in Molly's story by going to our website, clickorlando.com.
In Flagler County, the sheriff's office has released new body cam footage during a chaotic traffic stop involving a registered sex offender and 2 minors.
Sheriff's office, let me see hands! Let me see hands! Lay down! Lay down! Lay down! Spread out on the floor! Spread out on the floor!
So this happened last month along US 1 near Whiteview Drive, just north of Bunnell. So here's the video of the 15-year-old getting arrested in this. This all started during a traffic stop when deputies found the driver. The driver's name was Darnell Hairston, a registered sex offender. He was with 2 minors at the time. One of those minors, 11 years old, reported missing out of St. Johns County. So while deputies were busy with Hairston, the other minor, a 15-year-old, got back in the truck and drove away. Hairston facing multiple charges, including kidnapping a child under 13. We're not showing or naming that 15-year-old involved, but he's facing multiple charges, including aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer.
An Edgewater man is accused of threatening to kill the governor and the U.S. Secret Service director and the Volusia sheriff. Daniel Cook appeared in court for the first time today. The judge mentioned the victims are Governor Ron DeSantis, Secret Service Director Sean Curran, and Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood. Cook is being held on no bond.
Well, now that school is back from break, you've probably noticed more of those electric bikes back on our streets and sidewalks. E-bikes are more popular than ever, and in Oviedo, police say complaints from the community about kids taking over the roads have led them to take action. Your Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver spoke with police as they start handing out tickets in places like Jackson Heights Middle School.
Happening right now, a long-awaited vote from the Orange County School Board. Will they approve sale of the area known as the Hungerford property in Eatonville? Here's a live look at the meeting happening right now. Last September, the school board entered into an agreement to sell the historic property to Dr. Phillips Charities. Now, some Eatonville town leaders opposed this deal. The organization will get the 117-acre former site for $1 million. In exchange, the charity is mandated to build things like a health care facility and a new park in the next 10 years. We'll give you updates on clickorlando.com.
Well, we told you last week an expansion on the 417 is underway.
We're all used to road work, but imagine hearing this every day. Oh boy. Coming up, when this work could come to an end, as neighbors tell us it's becoming a headache.
And coming up, what's happening to Florida's most famous fruit and the industry it relies on.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Advent Health. Central Florida's weather changes constantly. Don't have time to turn on the TV? Grab the News 6 weather app from the App Store. It's like having a News 6 meteorologist in your pocket. Open it up, boom, there's the radar. Boom, there's the forecast. It has the future cast right on it, the same model used in the News 6 studio. And if there's a warning, it comes automatically to your phone. Download the free News 6 weather app now and have our weather team with you whenever you need us. Sponsored by Renewal by Anderson. Stream News 6 whenever you want with News 6 Plus. Download the free app on your TV to watch exclusive content like News 6 Tonight and get some local news with some perspective. Sponsored by Shark Coatings.
So that's the sound some neighbors are having to deal with in Oviedo and Winter Springs. Yeah, better them than you, right? A week ago, we told you about some work being done in Seminole County, causing a headache for neighbors nearby. This is brutal. A widening project underway for State Route 417 near Winter Springs Boulevard. Construction work takes place between 6 in the morning and 8 at night. Neighbors tell your Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver the sound is a real hassle.
It impacts our children, our special needs adults that we have here in this community, our elderly, our pets are affected. And even down the road on Winter Springs Boulevard, you get neighbors commenting, how do you put up with that noise?
People ask you about it.
Yeah, the noisy work is expected to run all the way through February 6th, but more work is on the horizon and could impact more communities as the widening project is expected to finish in 2030.
Central Florida's citrus industry could make a comeback for the upcoming harvest season after growers say there has been a steady decline for years. That's according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. News 6's Jana Manahalal got a first-hand look at one local orange grove and how they are working to bounce back.
And those farmers are going to be dealing with the coldest air we've seen in years, meteorologist Jonathan Kagas.
Yeah, likely since Christmas morning, guys, of 2022. That's the last time we're talking about temperatures getting widespread into the 20s and getting close to the freezing mark, even in the Orlando metro area. Temperatures right now, nowhere near that. We're going to be nice and mild for the rest of this evening. Back in the lower 70s as we speak at the Orlando International Airport. The land, we are at 62. Ocala, we're checking in at 65. Melbourne, good evening. We're back to around 70 degrees right now, feeling pretty nice out there under a mainly cloudy sky. That's a live look in downtown Orlando with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam this evening. We have those air temperatures again in the low 70s. The breeze out of the south pumping in some warmth by Thursday morning. That is going to shift to a big-time breeze out of the north to pump in the chill. Now, tomorrow morning, we're still on the milder side, hanging around the upper 50s in Mount Dora. The land, we're starting our day at 56. 56 also for us in Daytona Beach. Now, here's a look at your afternoon.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
A little cooler tomorrow. The reason being we'll see extra clouds come in, and we'll also add rain chances to the mix, mainly into the afternoon and early evening, though, with those rain chances. Those will bump up to 40% tomorrow. Air temperatures just a couple of notches below where we should be. That'll put us into the upper 60s and lower 70s. And then this thing comes rolling in. This is our big front working through Chicago back towards Omaha right now. Behind that, A ton of Arctic air. It will modify, but it is coming straight from the Arctic. We do have air temperatures right now about 10-ish degrees below zero just south of the Hudson Bay, and that's just the makings, the start of that air mass, trying to bleed towards Winnipeg now, towards also Thunder Bay, and then it works its way back towards the lower 48 over the next couple of days along that front. So here we go. Timing out the rain. There's 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. Likely by this time, we're pinpointing a couple of downpours moving through. That's out ahead of the front, tapping into some Gulf moisture, still on the warmer side, relatively speaking. Then the front itself comes blasting through overnight and into the early part of your Thursday morning. That's 2 o'clock with a couple of stray downpours, increasing rain chances through your morning. And then you see the nice clean sweep coming by. That is the front ushering in that drier, colder Arctic air. By the time we wake up on Friday morning, that's going to be the coldest morning of the bunch that really starts an extended cold streak going into early next work week. We're back to the mid to upper 20s in Marion County and down the 75 corridor. We're at the freezing mark in Sanford. 35 in Orlando, hanging around the 40s, lower 40s at the Cape and in Cocoa Beach, Melbourne. We're going to get down to 37 degrees, and that colder air sticks around really for the next 7 days beyond Friday. Highs on Friday after that chill I just showed you get back to the mid to upper 50s, and that's even with dominant sunshine. We're going to warm up a little bit, guys, Saturday and Sunday into the mid to upper 60s after cold starts both of those days. Reinforcing shot of colder air, though, comes in Sunday into Monday. You see on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, guys, we're waking back up into the 30s.
That is not much of a warm-up. All right. Thank you, Jonathan. All right, talking sports now. Ryan's in for Jamie tonight.
So the Orlando Magic gearing up for a historic game later this week.
Yeah, the team is in Germany right now. They've got a pair of games coming up with the Memphis Grizzlies. One will be in Berlin on Thursday afternoon. The other one will be in London on Sunday. Coming up, thoughts from the Wagner brothers on their homecoming. And the Pride have a new general manager. Coming up, a report from Inter & Co Stadium as we hear from Caitlin Carducci.
Watch Jana Manohalal, your News 6 East Orange County community correspondent.
Welcome back. For the Orlando Magic, today is their second full day in Berlin as they get ready to face the Memphis Grizzlies Thursday at 2 o'clock in the NBA's first ever regular season game in Germany. The team taking in the sights while braving those January elements. They pose for photos in front of the Brandenburg Gate, one of Berlin's most famous landmarks. The Wagner brothers, who are from Berlin, met up with German hoops legend Dirk Nowitzki. That's pretty awesome. And the team also got a practice in as they gear up for Thursday's historic game.
It will be really cool. Yeah, just really excited for Thursday. It's going to be a great day, obviously. Well, not just for everybody at the game, but I think for German basketball in general. So excited to be a part of that.
It's pretty surreal. Obviously, once the practice starts and the game starts, you kind of want to keep the main thing. But driving through the streets with the team bus and all that stuff, it's really cool.
Cool indeed. The Orlando Pride are under new leadership ahead of the 2026 season. Today, the team introduced its new general manager. News 6's Nathaniel Rivas was there and has reaction from Inter & Co Stadium. Much, Nathaniel. We're talking NFL divisional round, guys. News 6, we've got the Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos Saturday at 4:30. Should be a great one in the AFC.
You want it, we've got it.
We got it, absolutely.
News 6. All right, thanks, buddy. More news coming up for you at 9 o'clock on clickorlando.com.
Until then, have a great night. Bye.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newman.